Hi everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Karen.
And I'm Mike. And we are talking about Pop's Prince Harry in part 2 of our look at, yes, Harry Styles. Not the real Prince Harry, the other pop Prince Harry, who of course was in One Direction. He's always loved music. And then after being a big worldwide global band, they were like the BTS from like 5 years ago, right?
That's right.
One Direction, they were so popular. Well, now he's kind of gone off on his own. He's got a solo career. He's had some big hits, very successful with his solo songs. And he's also branched out into other forms of performance.
Such as?
Acting.
Oh, so is he also a good actor? I mean, aside from being a great musician.
That's a good question. I would say the jury is still out. We're not quite sure about that simply because he's never really been like the star of a movie. I saw him in that Dunkirk movie a couple years ago. It was a World War II movie. He played a young soldier, you know. He looked very different, of course. He had his hair all cut off and stuff. But, you know, I mean, being a young soldier isn't the hardest acting you can do, right? So let's put him in something a little more interesting. And I think he has a new movie coming out that will be definitely more of a test of his acting skill. But if he prepares for it as hard and with as much passion as he does for music, I'm sure he'll be fine.
And maybe he'll become a movie star as well.
Who knows? It's been known to happen, absolutely. And as I said, he seems to have lots of talent. So we're going to be seeing a lot more about Harry Styles in the future, and we're going to be reading a lot more about him coming up right now in part 2 of Pop's Prince Harry. In 2016, however, One Direction broke up for good. Although this upset many fans, Styles was now free to begin a solo career. As usual for Styles, hit after hit followed. In 2022, he released his third solo album, Harry's House, and even though it was leaked early on the internet, the album still reached #1 on both the UK and US album charts.
So we are looking at part 2 of Pop's Prince Harry, right?
That's right, yes. Let's see what's going on with Harry Styles these days.
Okay, well, let's begin. In 2016, however, One Direction broke up for good.
Don't talk about that. I'm still upset.
I think a lot of fans were really upset about them breaking up. So when we say One Direction broke up, that means they're no longer together as a band anymore. And then if we're talking about boyfriends and girlfriends, we can also say breaking up if they're no longer together, right?
But that's not as sad as when One Direction broke up.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, although this upset many fans, such as Mike, Styles was now free to begin a solo career. So I think maybe it was actually good news for Harry Styles. Maybe he wanted to become a solo artist from the beginning.
I think that's natural. I mean, we're even seeing that BTS are going to take a break, right? Because they want to go off and do their own things. It was Zayn who left first anyways. Right, Zayn. He left, what, a year or two before? And then they went on with 4 people. And yeah, I mean, I think some of them, they got married, they had kids. You know, you want to live your life. But of course, the fans, myself included, we were upset by this. Yeah, when you're upset, this verb means, we can use it as an adjective, I feel upset, or to upset someone or something is basically to kind of put it in a bad situation. When you are upset, you feel unhappy. It could be sad, it could be angry, it could be frustrated, whatever, but you're just not happy. So if you upset a person or a situation, you put it in a kind of bad situation, you make things worse. If you give your friend bad news, sad news, scary news, you might upset your friend because you're taking them from kind of happy and in a good mood to unhappy and bad things are happening. For example, I was upset by the things that you said last night. Or, of course, I could say, the things that you said last night upset me. You could also say it that way.
That's right.
Now back to Harry Styles. As usual for Styles, hit after hit followed. That's true. I think of all the One Direction guys, he certainly had the most successful solo career.
That's right.
So that's been really, really good for him. In 2022, just this year, he released his third solo album.
Wow.
I thought maybe it was the third, but then I thought, no, not enough years have gone by for him to get 3 albums out. But yeah, the third one is out this year, and there we have the title of this new album, Harry's House. It's been released. You can get it in stores and, of course, find it online as well.
That's right. Release is a verb. So when you say we're releasing an album, that means make it known to public. So that means the public can actually listen to this album or to the songs on the album. So, for example, the author will release her new book in March. So when she releases her new book, that means the public will be able to buy her book.
That's right. We often use this for music, for books, for movies as well. Maybe not so much for television shows.
That's right.
They might premiere or air or something like that. But release, yeah, means basically you can go get it now. It is available to the public. So
that's right.
Remember that if you're a fan.
And even though it was leaked early on the internet,
Really?
the album still reached #1 on both the UK and US album charts. But what does it mean when they say it was leaked?
I guess someone kind of had some of the songs on a computer and they put them out on the internet so people could find them before the songs were officially released. This does happen these days.
That's true, but that's not really good for the artist, right? Because you don't want it to leak out before the actual release date.
Exactly. You want it to go out when you think it's ready, not when some person steals it off your computer or it gets leaked to someone who puts it online. To leak something, well, a leak is, or when something leaks, basically a small amount of that is escaping. If you have a crack in your glass, you might see water slowly dripping out of the glass. The water is leaking. Here, though, we're not talking about liquid in a cup. We're talking about information. If people are telling secrets, if they're giving out information that they really shouldn't or they're actually not allowed to do, then that information has leaked. We often hear this in big news stories when someone in the government calls a newspaper and says, I can't say who I am, but I have secrets for you. That person is leaking information, and we could also use it as a noun. That information is a leak, and the leak might get printed in the newspaper or put on TV news, but it's not supposed to be out there. People are not supposed to leak these things because they should be kept secret. For example, many people believe that a government official leaked the story to the press. And it does happen.
That's
for sure.
like what you said, right?
Yeah, it does happen. And of course, leaking albums, leaking stories from Marvel movies.
Oh.
Right? That's a big problem. Everyone needs to be very secret because once it leaks on the internet, the whole world knows. Okay, well, it's time for us to take a break, so don't tell anyone. No leaks about our break. Let's keep it a secret. And then we'll be back with more about Harry Styles and what he's going to be doing in the future.
See you guys soon.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。One Direction 一世代这个团体大获成功，不过他们在2016年解散了。那虽然这让许多歌迷伤心，但是 Harry Styles 他可以自由的开始单飞生涯。那他的畅销歌曲一首接着一首，而他在2022年发行的第3张个人专辑，尽管有提早在网络上被人家披露出来，但还是在英国还有美国的专辑榜上都获得第1名哦。好，单字 upset。它可以当动词来表达使生气、使心烦，那它的3态同形。那这个字也可以当形容词来描述不开心的或是心烦的。再来 release 这个动词，它可以表达发布、发行，可能像是书啊、影片、唱片等等的发行。这个字也有释放的意思。那 Mike 老师则提到，如果是电影、戏剧他们的首映呢，我们会用到 premiere 这个字 ，P-R-E-M-I-E-R-E。premiere 表示首映会或是初次上演。好，下一个单字 leak， 它当动词有泄露、透露的意思。那么它也可以当名词哦，这时候就表示漏洞啊，或者是露出物、露出来的东西。好，那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是 even though 跟 even if 的比较。我们先看 even though， 它表示即使、虽然、尽管，那它是 though、although 的强调说法。 那它是用来引导确定的状况或者是已经发生的事实，强调说虽然某情况成立，但还是有某种结果。那么 even if 它是表达即使就算，这是 if 的强调说法，去引导这个条件啊或者是假设的情况，强调说无论这个情况是否成立，都不影响结果。好，那我们就来看例句。Even if it rains tomorrow, we will still go to the amusement park. 即使明天下雨，我们还是会去游乐园。Even though it rained, we still had fun at the amusement park. 虽然下雨，我们还是在游乐园玩得很开心。那这条课文中。
But making pop music is not the only string to Styles' bow. In the years following One Direction's breakup, Styles took up acting. Clearly not afraid of taking on challenging parts, he played his first ever role as a young soldier in the 2017 World War II film Dunkirk. And earlier this year, he starred in Don't Worry Darling, an exciting thriller. Styles is also known for his unconventional fashion sense. In fact, he regularly wears clothes that blur the line between men's and women's fashion. Thanks to his unique style, he became the first man ever to appear solo on the cover of Vogue. Indeed, far from being just a successful singer, Harry Styles is truly an all-around cultural icon.
Welcome back, everyone. So we are back to learn more about Harry Styles, right?
That's absolutely right. He's been a pop star for a very long time. First with, of course, One Direction, and now as a solo singer. So when you think of this guy, you might think, oh yeah, Harry Styles, the singer, right? Well, yes, he is the singer, the guy, that's true. But as we continue, we read, but making pop music is not the only string to Styles' bow. Okay, the only string to your bow. This is the bow and arrow like Robin Hood might use, and the string, when we use this expression, it's not the only string to that person's bow. We're basically saying it's not the only talent or only skill that they have. There are other things that they are very good at. So my friend is a very famous lawyer, but that's not the only string to her bow. She's also a great chef. So she's got these very impressive skills and talents in two different types of things. So he's not just a pop singer, in other words. In the years following One Direction's breakup, Styles took up acting. Yeah, along with making his solo stuff, he was doing acting, and I think he did the acting before he started to record his own songs. Soon after One Direction broke up, he really said, okay, now's the time I can go do something different, and right away he decided the first thing to do is take on some acting parts.
And take up acting, that means you're starting his acting career.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, well, let's see where he goes after that. Clearly not afraid of taking on challenging parts. He played his first ever role as a young soldier in the 2017 World War II film Dunkirk. And that's the one that you mentioned.
Yeah.
So, but although he was not the main character, but he actually played a role of a soldier, but I guess you can kind of still see his acting skills.
Well, I think the cool thing about it was he was on screen for 5 or 10 minutes before I went, oh, that's Harry Styles. Because he didn't look glamorous. He fit in. Like he was just with a bunch of other young soldiers. He didn't look like a pop star, a model, or anything like that. He looked like a soldier from World War II, which is good because he was supposed to be a soldier from World War II.
You're right.
So it worked very well. But as I said, in a part like that, you don't have to, have a lot of emotions. He spent most of it, I think, being scared and shooting a gun, which is what soldiers do, right? So it'll be interesting to see him in some other things.
That's right.
And we're going to get to do that because as we read, and earlier this year, he starred in Don't Worry Darling, an exciting thriller. So this will be completely different. It will have all sorts of different scenes, funny scenes, scary scenes, dramatic scenes.
Exciting scenes.
So that's going to be a great way for him to test out his acting skills. And then it says Styles is also known for his unconventional fashion sense. Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
He's not just a movie star, a film, a pop music star. he's also now a fashion star.
So I guess he dresses very well, right?
Yeah, he dresses in unusual clothes.
Okay, well.
He likes a dress.
That's right.
He looks good in a dress.
So it's not just like a t-shirt or like regular shorts or pants.
It's your grandma's blouse, but he looks good in it.
And fashion right here, we're using it as a noun. When you use this word, basically you are saying something that is popular, a way of dressing. So it could be like, right now everyone likes to wear turtlenecks, or right now everyone likes to wear bell bottoms, or right now everyone likes to wear crop tops. So it's a popular way of dressing. So for example, Russell thinks he has a great fashion sense. Do you have a great fashion sense?
Absolutely not. Yeah, fashion's about wearing clothes, but wearing it with style.
That's
and
right.
being artistic, expressing yourself. If you just put on a shirt and jeans, you're just wearing clothes. That's not really fashion. But yeah, I think Harry Styles is well known for his own personal fashion, and he actually does things that a lot of other people would be very, shy or a little bit afraid to do, and I think that's cool.
And he's not afraid to express himself in that sense, right? So in fact, he regularly wears clothes that blur the line between men's and women's fashion. So when we say that, it kind of blurs the line between men's and women's fashion. So he's kind of like somewhere in the middle. Some of the clothing that he wears, it could be like, hey, is that from like the women's style, or is that from the men's? We're not sure.
It's more like grandma style, some of his stuff. But as I said, he makes it work.
Exactly. Thanks to his unique style, he became the first man ever to appear solo on the cover of Vogue. That is pretty amazing.
If you're talking about fashion, the cover of Vogue is pretty much the top of the mountain. And I'm surprised a man has never been on the cover of Vogue. That's interesting. But Harry Styles, well, he has. So a man has been on the cover of Vogue. And I think he might have been wearing a dress.
Really?
But I'm not sure. Yeah,
I have to go back and check.
It was quite an interesting thing that happened then. Anyways, back to the article. It says, indeed, far from being just a successful singer, Harry Styles is truly an all-around cultural icon. Yeah, indeed, we say that to kind of put emphasis on this, to really stress that, yeah, he really is much more than just a pop singer. He's an actor, he's a fashion icon, he's become a very big cultural influencer. When we talk about cultural, this is the adjective of culture, and culture, of course, are the things that make people of the world in different places kind of different. Different styles of clothing, styles of music, languages. When we're talking about things that involve culture, we are talking about cultural things. For example, there are some cultural differences between Americans and Canadians. You might think we're all the same, but we're not.
We're not the same, exactly.
We're not all the same, exactly. All right, guys, let's look at our what do you think question. Get our brains going a little bit here. Based on the article, how would you describe Harry Styles' personality?
Well, based on the article, I would think that Harry Styles is very adventurous, and he's also very hardworking. And don't you think so? He likes to take on new challenges, trying on new things. He's always keeping himself busy, doing a lot of things that he loves.
I agree. I would also say Harry Styles seems like a modern person.
How so?
My reason for saying this is he's doing things that he wants to do. He doesn't follow old traditions. If he wants to wear a dress or, a grandma sweater with some pearls, he does it and he pulls it off. And I think he's a pretty interesting guy who's doing some pretty interesting things these days. And
that's right. And he's not afraid to be himself,
exactly right? Thanks for joining us, guys. We hope you guys can get out there, be yourselves, put on whatever clothes you want, do a Harry Styles. It's okay. And we'll see you back here sometime very soon. Until then, do you know what makes you beautiful? Something like that.
创作流行音乐不是 Harry Styles 唯一的才艺，他在1世代解散后的几年呢，有开始演戏，也愿意接下有挑战性的角色。那除此之外，他也以标新立异的时尚感而闻名，常常就穿着模糊男女时装界限的服装。那由于他独特的风格，他成了史上第一位单独出现在 Vogue 杂志封面的男子。看来啊，这位歌手他确实是全方位的文化偶像。好，我们来看单字 fashion，fashion 就表示 时尚、时装或者是时尚界。那么 cultural 它是形容文化的、文艺的。而文中它用到 not the only string to one's bow， 这是英式说法，它表示说什么什么不是某人唯一的技能啊、唯一的资源或是唯一的计划等等。那么 string 在这边则是比喻技能或是对策。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来学习跟 take 相关的片语动词。首先 take up 它表示从事或是开始进行，可能是开始进行某个计划啊、工作啊、从事某个嗜好等等。那后面是接名词或动名词，像 Some of my friends took up baking during the pandemic。我有些朋友在疫情期间开始烘焙，都有这样的兴趣。好，再来呢，如果是 take on， 它表示承担、接受，可能是承担某个责任啊，接受某个工作等等。像是 Are you ready to take on the challenge？ 你准备好接受这个挑战了吗？好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
In 2016, however, One Direction broke up for good. Although this upset many fans, Styles was now free to begin a solo career. As usual for Styles, hit after hit followed. In 2022, he released his third solo album, Harry's House, and even though it was leaked early on the internet, the album still reached #1 on both the UK and US album charts. But making pop music is not the only string to Styles' bow. In the years following One Direction's breakup, Styles took up acting. Clearly not afraid of taking on challenging parts, he played his first ever role as a young soldier in the 2017 World War II film Dunkirk. And earlier this year, he starred in Don't Worry Darling, an exciting thriller. Styles is also known for his unconventional fashion sense. In fact, he regularly wears clothes that blur the line between men's and women's fashion. Thanks to his unique style, he became the first man ever to appear solo on the cover of Vogue. Indeed, far from being just a successful singer, Harry Styles is truly an all-around cultural icon.
Hi, I'm Steven. I'm here at the Hsinchu Zoo to visit Lele the Hippo. I heard that she moved to a new home. It has many trees, a sandpit, and pools. Let's go take a look. Lele the Hippo is Hsinchu Zoo's star animal. She likes staying in the water. She can swim underwater for about 5 minutes. Lele's favorite food is watermelon. She also eats many plants and grass. She can eat about 65 kilograms of food a day. Lele has very big and strong teeth. She can open her mouth to about 150 degrees. So the zookeeper can easily brush her teeth. I think Lele enjoys her new home very much. I wish her a happy hippo life here in the Hsinchu Zoo.
See you next time!